What if I told you there's a place that's produced more soccer legends than any other academy in the world? Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, all started here at La Masia. But what's the secret behind their success? Stick around, because today we're diving into the untold story of FC Barcelona's legendary academy and how it's reshaped the beautiful game forever. What if I told you there's a place where some of the greatest soccer players in history were forged? Players like Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. A place where football isn't just played, but lived? Welcome to La Masia, FC Barcelona's legendary academy. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this academy the gold standard for player development.
Rudy, La Masia isn't just an academy, it's a phenomenon. A place where the foundations of the beautiful game are built. But here's the thing, La Masia's story begins humbly. Imagine a small farmhouse in the hills of Catalonia, transformed into the epicenter of global soccer innovation.
Exactly. This farmhouse, La Masia de Plains, was repurposed in 1979 to house young players. Back then, it wasn't much more than a dormitory for aspiring talent from outside Catalonia. But what happened next turned it into something extraordinary. The seeds of a footballing revolution were planted.
And the architect of that revolution? Johan Cruyff. Cruyff didn't just change Barcelona, he changed soccer forever. He brought the philosophy of total football from the Netherlands. But here's where it gets interesting. He tailored it to fit Barcelona's DNA. Positional play, or juego de posición, became the academy's heartbeat.
And Alex, that's where the magic lies. Every player at La Masia learns not just how to play the game, but how to think about the game. Every pass, every move, every decision is calculated. It's not just talent. It's a system that's been perfected over decades.
Let's talk numbers for a moment, Rudy. According to UEFA's 2021 report, FC Barcelona has produced more professional players competing in top European leagues than any other club. Nearly 40% of players in La Liga at one point had trained at La Masia. That's not just impressive, it's unmatched.
And think about this. Between 2008 and 2012, when Barcelona was at its peak under Pep Guardiola, more than half the starting lineup was made up of La Masia graduates. Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Puyol, these weren't just players. They were products of a philosophy that started at La Masia.
Here's a direct quote from Pep Guardiola himself. At La Masia, we don't train players to play football. We train them to understand football. That understanding is what separates good players from great ones. It's why La Masia players excel not just at Barcelona, but wherever they go.
And it's not just about soccer, Alex. La Masia is a holistic academy. Players are educated, they're taught discipline, humility, and the value of teamwork. It's about creating complete individuals, not just athletes.
Absolutely, Rudy. Did you know that every La Masia player is required to attend school alongside their training? In fact, Andres Iniesta once said, "At La Masia, they taught us how to be better people first and better players second." That kind of education isn't common in youth academies.
And let's not forget Messi. When he arrived at La Masia in 2000, he was a shy 13-year-old battling growth hormone deficiency. Alex, share those stats. You're the research guru.
Of course. Messi's condition, growth hormone deficiency, affects about 1 in 4,000 children. At the time, treatment costs were over $1,000 a month, far beyond what his family could afford. But here's the turning point. La Masia didn't just see his talent. They invested in him as a person, covering his medical costs and providing a support system that allowed him to thrive.
And look at what he became. Barcelona's all-time leading scorer and arguably the greatest player in history. That's the power of La Masia. But Messi's story isn't unique. Xavi, Iniesta, and even Busquets came through the same system.
And their success wasn't just luck. Studies show that academies emphasizing long-term development, like La Masia, produce better-rounded players. According to a FIFA report, Players who spend at least 10 years in structured development systems are 70% more likely to sustain professional careers.
That's incredible, Alex. And you know what stands out to me? The consistency. La Masia has stuck to its principles for decades. Even when trends in soccer change, they adapt without losing their core philosophy.
But here's what I want to know, Rudy. How does La Masia instill this level of excellence in players so consistently? What's the secret sauce that turns talent into generational greatness?
Alex, you're jumping the gun. That's what we're diving into next. How the principles of positional play, humility, and teamwork come together to create legends. The secret sauce of FC Barcelona.
We know you're here because you love the beautiful game and the stories that inspire it.
All right, welcome back. So far, we've talked about La Masia's humble beginnings and its philosophy of creating well-rounded players. Now, it's time to break down the secret sauce. How this academy consistently produces some of the greatest players the world has ever seen.
Rudy, it all starts with La Masia's commitment to positional play, or juego de position. This isn't just about tactics. It's a philosophy that teaches players how to control space, make decisions, and see the game 2 steps ahead. A study by UEFA found that players trained in systems emphasizing positional awareness are 50% more likely to excel at the highest levels of competition.
That makes sense, Alex. You see it on the pitch. Barcelona players don't just pass the ball. They know where their teammates will be before they even look. It's like watching a symphony, and every player is an instrument.
And this isn't by chance. Former La Masia director Albert Benages said, "Our players are taught to understand the game, not just play it. That's why they're capable of adapting to any situation on the field. It's this adaptability that sets them apart."
But Alex, let's not forget the role of humility and discipline. At La Masia, ego is left at the door. Players are taught that the team always comes first. I remember reading an interview with Xavi where he said, "The values we learned at La Masia, respect, hard work, humility, are what make us great players and great people."
Absolutely. And speaking of Xavi, let's look at some case studies. Xavi and Iniesta are perfect examples of how La Masia shapes players. Both of them were considered undersized, but their understanding of space and timing more than made up for their physical stature. In fact, Iniesta himself said, "At La Masia, I learned that intelligence beats size every time."
And that's a lesson for all youth academies, Alex. Focus on developing the mind as much as the body. Here's another stat for you. According to FIFA, 70% of professional players who succeed at the highest levels come from systems that prioritize mental development alongside physical training. That's exactly what La Masia does.
It's not just about teaching skills. It's about teaching values. Players are encouraged to be students of the game and life. Did you know that Gerard Piqué once said, "The most important thing I learned at La Masia wasn't football. It was respect for others"? That respect translates into the way Barcelona plays as a team.
All right, Alex, we've talked about philosophy and values, but let's get into the results. Between 2008 and 2012, when Pep Guardiola managed Barcelona, the team won 14 trophies. More than half the starting lineup during that era came from La Masia. That's not just a coincidence. It's the culmination of decades of commitment to a singular vision.
And Rudy, La Masia's impact isn't just limited to Barcelona. Players like Cesc Fabregas, Thiago Alcantara, and Adama Traoré have gone on to shine at other clubs. This proves that the academy doesn't just create players for one system, it prepares them to excel anywhere.
That's so true. And let's not forget the global influence. Academies like Ajax and Bayern Munich have adopted similar approaches to youth development. Even MLS academies are starting to take notes from La Masia. It's like a ripple effect, spreading excellence across the soccer world.
So, Rudy, what's the takeaway for youth soccer programs around the world? What can they learn from La Masia?
Simple. Develop the person, not just the player. Teach them to understand the game, not just play it. And always prioritize the team over the individual. These aren't just lessons for soccer, they're lessons for life.
And that's what makes La Masia more than an academy. It's a blueprint for greatness. A place where legends are made, not by chance, but by design.
Before you go, we want to hear from you. What do you think makes La Masia so special? Drop a comment below. We're reading all of them.
And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive.
Also, share this video with your soccer-loving friends. Let's spread the love for the beautiful game together.
Thanks for joining us on this journey. See you next time.